Hello, everybody. My name is Lauren Woodcock, and I've been focusing on Alice Hoffman's series about magic and all the ins and outs of it so far in class. She's got three novels and an accompanying movie called Practical Magic. To introduce you to this, I'll be referring to this as a series, but the novels are actually not in any specific order. They can be read out of order, but they just exist within the same world and universe. So basically, this is a magic system that surrounds one family, the Owens family, and similar to the Azande beliefs about witchcraft, um, magical powers are passed down through lineage, and people that are related to witches are also witches. Um, this series is three novels. It's called one called Practical Magic, which is set in the 1990s, The Rules of Magic, which is set in the 1970s, and then Magic Lessons, which is set in the 1600s. And there's also a film called Practical Magic, which is based on the first novel. Some of the things that inspired Alice Hoffman to create this series include books like Mary Poppins and authors like Ray Bradbury, um, also like fables and fairy tales that you would just hear as a child. There's also, though, some historical basis for a lot of the events that take place, especially with regards to the Salem witch trials. There's a lot of talk about lineage of witches stemming from Massachusetts and things regarding Salem witch trials and persecution as a result of being a witch. One of the most important things about this magic system is that the powers are passed down through the family, and all of the magic stems from the generation before you, all the way up to the original matriarch of the family who's responsible for the magic. And along with that, there was a spell book that is handed down through the family that's massive, and over time it just keeps growing, and there's more spells like added from every member of the family. You can see it in like the bottom left corner here. And basically the family just always is adding to it, so it's always increasing family knowledge of magic. One of the most interesting things about the magic in this series is that it's really just a small tool for everyday life rather than some sort of weapon against a huge threat or a means to solving a massive issue. There's not really any sort of main bad guy in this series. Also, the witches use their magic as a way to make money. They made an apothecary in one of the books, and also they have a matchmaking business in another book. So they use it as a small tool for everyday life, but also as like a means to secure income. The magic in this series seems to originate from one specific woman, the matriarch of the family, and Alice Hoffman tells about her story in her novel Magic Lessons. Based on that magic, there's a lot of shared aspects between all of the members of the family. But one of the interesting things is each person's personality actually influences their abilities, and so it'll change actually based on who is practicing magic. Some examples of the shared abilities in the family include like the ability to cast spells and the ability to create potions and the inability to drown, which is actually a reference to the Salem witch trials because one of the most popular or most common um, trials to determine if someone was a witch was to drown them, and if they survived, they were found guilty, and if they were dead, then they were considered to be innocent of witchcraft. Some of the unique abilities that are in this series include communicating with birds, premonitions of the future, and practicing necromancy. So basically, each person's personality will kind of dictate which abilities they have or which ones they are have an aptitude for. And then there's some other magical elements about this series that I struggled to work in anywhere else, but they're pretty important, so I wanted to touch on them. And that includes their ancestral family home, which is pretty much the center of all of the novels and the movie, the attached garden, and the curse that had been placed on the family for generations. All of these things stem back to the matriarch of the family that I talked about. The home was built by her, the garden was like started by her, and the family still grows all of the ingredients for their potions in that garden. And the curse on the family was actually placed on them by the matriarch. So this kind of just highlights like how important family is in the system, and like the history of the family, and how much it dictates the rules of their lives and the way that they practice their magic. So basically, the most important thing in this system is just family. All of the magic stems back to family lineage, and all of the issues are centered around family. All of the powers are centered around your relationship with your family. So basically, my takeaway is that family is super important to this magic. It cannot be done without like a link to your ancestors. And yeah, that's basically all I have for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the presentation, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. Thank you.